Our Flag Means Death is a dark comedy slash drama loosely based on real life pirates and the events that took place during the golden age of piracy. It was created by David Jenkins and stars Rhys Darby and Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi is also an executive producer on this show. Our Flag Means Death is 100% the best show I have probably seen in the last decade, at least of this genre. I loved the shit out of it. So I'm gonna give it 5 out of 5 Carls. Carls the Blood. It's funny, it has that dry Kiwi humour which is very akin to Australian sense of humour, which I am a fan of, being an Australian, which is sort of that offbeat quirkiness to it, it's very dry, very deadpan. The casting is great, and although the show focuses mostly on Steed, the Gentleman Pirate, and Blackbeard, there is an all-star cast, or at least a very good eclectic cast, and every character gets a moment or two, which is very, very nice. It's charming and feel-good, but also it gets pretty dark and very emotional in the later episodes, so it sort of tackles the whole spectrum of emotions, really. The sets and the costumes are very vivid and fun. Oh, and there's just enough violence to satisfy the savage in me. I like slapstick, violent humor, you're talking, get out of here, fly, what the fuck? I'm talking like Rick and Morty or Hot Fuzz, just stupid violence. I know I shouldn't like that kind of stuff, but I do. And there's just enough of that in this show. I mean, it's a show about pirates after all, so you're gonna get a bit of blood, and I was quite happy with that. It's also just a good adventure, there's a lot of, I love high seas adventures, I love pirates. I think this show is good. It's not exactly historical accurate, so if I'm being unbiased, I think it'd be more accurate to give this show a 4 out of 5, because as a history enthusiast, there's a few things I think they could have done differently, like increasing the size of Steed's crew. Some of the pirates could have been represented a bit more accurately, and I think they could have changed that, done it a little bit more historically accurate, at least not necessarily in terms of events, because I don't mind that it's an alternate take on history. I won't spoil too much yet. I will later on in this video, but I think if you just tweaked it a little bit, it wouldn't detract from anything in the show and would give us history dorks just a little bit something extra. That being said, I can't give it 4 out of 5. I have to give it 5 out of 5 because I cannot stop thinking about this show. I've watched it with my partner at least 4 times. I don't want to say 4, let's say 3. It's still too much. So I don't know, I just can't get it out of my head. So I have to give it 5 out of 5. I mean, the sheer fact that I've watched it so many times, if it's not a perfect show, if that's not what a perfect show is, then I don't know what is. 5 out of 5. I mean, frankly, it just fucking moved me. To tears even, especially in those later episodes. Those of you who've seen the show know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Now, I can't say exactly why without significant spoilers, so if you want to stick around to see how I came to that conclusion, please do. Otherwise, go and watch one of my other stuff. You can watch my other channel, Chooroo, which is like a drunken Australian cooking adventure show. Now, you can get a sneak peek into my real life like anyone gives a shit, but it's a lot of fun and you might just learn how to cook kangaroo. So give that a go. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Spoilers for season 1 of Our Flag Means Death ahead. So as I mentioned, this show scores high for me because it's exactly my sense of humor. The cast are great, the sets are fantastic, the adventure is fun. It's just my type of show. But why this show is so powerful is probably to do with its queer representation. It's a romance, and as an old school romantic, and especially as I'm getting older, I'm finding myself watching more and more of this stuff. I don't know if I'm just getting old or what, but as an old school romantic, this show is done very, very tastefully. And the queer community across the globe, as far as I can tell, are raving about Our Flag Means Death because it's not queer bait. It doesn't have some token gay dude to fill some kind of quota, or as the right-wing nutters call it, an agenda. It's not woke for the sake of it, at least in the terms of how those right-wing dickheads use the term woke. I mean, woke is actually a good thing, at least it's meant to be. But anyway, this isn't woke for the sake of being woke. It's just a really good representation of all sides of the spectrum. It's a show about older gentlemen discovering their sexuality, or perhaps just realizing their true selves, and like I said, it's handled extremely tastefully. Nothing feels forced, nothing feels like it's being jammed down your throat, though I don't mind that from time to time. It's just brilliant and a powerful romance. The show also deals with midlife crises, family issues, daddy issues, of which there are a fucking lot in this show. It also says that it's okay to tell societal norms to get fucked and to be comfortable with who you really are deep down inside. And also, very importantly, that you are not alone. Your people are out there. Your tribe exists. You just gotta find them. we have to find each other. And we also have to be accepting of other people's tribes, even if it's not your bag, baby. And that's what this show, to me, teaches us, I think. The other thing the show tackles really well is heartache and heartbreak. As someone who has been heartbroken many moons ago, in that last episode, I mean, that really fucked me up because Taika's performance was so amazing and true. Like, that's, if you've ever been heartbroken and you don't cry at that scene, then you're fucking dead inside because it was really, truly powerful stuff. Our Flag Means Death is a kind of show that definitely is powerful because of its beautiful representation, but you don't have to be queer to appreciate it because at the end of the day, it's just a stunning romance. It's a good romance. When Steed and Ed kissed for the first time, I didn't see two guys kissing. I saw two people in love or realizing that they were in love. It didn't matter that they were same sex. I mean, I get that it does matter because shows like this are important to our community, but I didn't see that. I just saw just a really good writing and really good acting. That's what I saw anyway. I wish shows like this existed when I was a kid because it shows that you can be queer and not some flailing camp dude in the meadow somewhere, you know, singing a song. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. That's a bit of a stereotype, you know? And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, stereotypes, there's something wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a flailing Mary in the middle of a field somewhere, but that's not what all gay people are like. And this show shows that. I mean, that's very much Steed in this show, but then you've got Ed, Blackbeard, a savage beast, a violent hunk, or at least some super tough, rough as guts bloke who happens to be queer. You don't see that too often. When I was a young guy figuring shit out, I didn't have any exposure to shows like this. I didn't even know if they existed. I certainly didn't see any. So these shows are very important, I think, for our community in a whole. Like, not just for the queer community. It normalizes it and doesn't throw it in your face. When I was growing up, men had to act a certain way, women had to act a certain way, and if you were queer, you too had to act a certain way. That's what I was not taught, but at least exposed to in media. This show deletes those stereotypes. I mean, they're still in there, but it shows all sides of the spectrum. It says, hey mate, it's okay to be gay and tough. You don't have to be. You can be whatever you want, baby, but you can be. My dog's snoring. Boudica, here's my little sleepy girl, huh? Hey, you gonna snore when I'm trying to make a video, dude? Come on, man. Anyway, what I was saying was, I think being queer makes you tough because even in today's society, which is far more accepting than what it was, it's still fucking rough on those high seas, man. Shows like this are important because, like I said earlier, it normalizes it. But like I said, it doesn't seem to have an agenda. I mean, this show is very important for so many reasons, but it's also just a fucking good show. You don't have to be queer to appreciate it. Because it's a fun adventure, it's violent, there's high seas, there's pirates, there's swashbuckling, there's swinging from ropes, there's people getting their hands cut off and set on fire, and it also has a very powerful romance in it as well. Having proper, well-written representation, in my opinion, is just a bonus. I understand how important this show is, trust me, I know. But I think that just adds to it. It just happens, it's just another thing that's just well-written in this show. And it's funny. It's really funny, it's really dark, it's capturing, I don't know, there's just something that I can't fucking stop thinking about this goddamn show. Well done, Jenkins. Well done. And the crew that you have yeah. Okay, now go over there and be quiet for a sec, please. Anyway, what I was saying was, well done, Jenkins, and the crew that you've assembled. You have done us all very proud, and everybody involved in Our Flags Means Death should be proud. Thanks for watching, friends. My name is Jacob, and this is Jake's Place. Don't forget to check out my Season 1 versus history of Our Flag Means Death. There's a lot of fun piratey facts in there. Be strong, my brothers, sisters, and others. I love you very much. Goodbye for now.